Hello everyone, happy holidays.
Happy December. Nice to see you. We usually have Dexter here with us, but
He's sleeping.
Wrapped in an electric blanket.
He got an early Christmas present.
He's living his best life. Well, the year is almost over, which for many is a good thing, right?
It felt like a very long year, yet a short year at the same time.
It felt like a very long day.
One very long day.
But the year is almost over. So we do have a few things to talk about during our vlog, so we're going to get right to it. The first of which is just a few announcements. You know, we always kind of start off the vlog with
Stuff we've been doing.
Yeah. And this past month, we were on a Kidsplaining interview. So if you are not familiar with Kidsplaining, they're a YouTube channel that features these two little kids, and they are so cute.
And they're Peyton and Jared. I believe they're 11 and 7.
Yes. And they do tutorial videos. They teach you how to play games.
Yeah.
They interview various people in board gaming creation space, I guess.
Yeah.
Designers, people who work for publishers, other content creators.
They have a segment on their channel called KidTalk where they basically they interview people. And so we were a guest on their channel, and we'll definitely leave a link so you guys can check that out.
Yes, if you have any kids, that might be a fun one for them to watch. Oh, and also they are doing a giveaway every day for the first 12 days of December. So I know it's a little bit late that we're telling you this, but by the time we're posting this, they should probably have like 3 more giveaways to go.
Yeah.
So definitely check them out if you are in the market to win some games.
Yeah, they're giving a game away one a day for 12 days, starting, I believe it started on December 1st.
Yes.
Yeah.
The other thing that we were mentioning last month that we were working on is our Patreon. And so that is something we actually do have an update on. We have done a very silent soft launch of it, which means we made one a couple of days ago, and we did not include any tiers. Tier. So we haven't included any rewards or benefits yet. So which means if you're interested in just supporting, just for, I guess, the sake of supporting, you are welcome to. We will include a link down below. Obviously, no obligation ever for that. And so that is something that we're working on including or incorporating in the new year. So it's starting in January. Hopefully we'll have all those rewards. We are going to leave a link in the description below. And we'd also like to thank the few people who have already supported us on Patreon without us even announcing it, really. I thought that was really, really sweet. There are no tiers. We haven't even made this video yet, and there are already people who signed up. Our very, very, very first patron was this person who goes by Codename1.
Codename1.
Yes, this is the person I interact with on Twitter, and it was very, very sweet. And we're just so touched by the level of support that we receive from people everywhere, really. And just so we can kind of shout out everybody who has supported us so far on our Patreon. Thank you to
Codename1, Ben Richardson, Kevin Lamar, Greg Boyarko, Chris Thompson, Nigel Graves, Brian Ashmore, Jordan Spikes, and Mike Risley.
Thank you.
Thank you guys
so much. You're all so awesome. And also, before we move off of this topic, the one thing that we are planning on doing for the Patreon this month is we are going to include a poll, and we're probably going to put it up sometime tonight and have it go on for like a week or so, because we were originally planning on doing a playthrough of both Spirit Island and Gaia Project this month, which are the two that so many people were requesting. But looking ahead at the month, I don't think it's going to be feasible for us to do both. And so we're going to put up a poll for you to vote which one you would rather have us do this month. The other one we will do at a later time next month, so if you really want to vote, try to get in on that.
Speaking of other things coming up on our channel, we recently, earlier last month, hit a pretty big milestone, something that we weren't expecting when we first started the channel, but we crossed 10K subscribers. So that was like really, really awesome. We weren't expecting that at all when we first started the channel, and we did it. So, it wasn't even a goal of ours.
Yeah, so that's the kind of the interesting thing about being in content creation. There's this almost like an obsession of growing your numbers, right? Everybody is focused on numbers, and it's really hard not to be, especially when you first start out. But the both of us, after a certain point, we're we're going to stop worrying about numbers because it kind of takes away from the enjoyment of just putting out the content because you love it.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally.
And so the only reason why we even mention this milestone is because specifically in board gaming YouTube, I think it's like a benchmark for a lot of people. It's like a goal. And so hitting that threshold is kind of a big deal for us. And so we mainly just wanted to say thank you to everybody out there for sending us nice messages, for just liking our videos and watching them at all, because it's kind of funny. You make these videos and you kind of put them up on the internet.
You just kind of put it out there, yes.
And you just, maybe somebody will watch them, right? But people watch them, so I think that's really, really cool. And the both of us have really been enjoying interacting with everybody who watches. You know, people send us emails. A lot of people message us on Instagram and comment on our videos. And just so you know, we've said this before, but if you're not aware, I am always on Instagram. Naveen is never on Instagram.
Yes, I'm not.
Yeah. So if ever you're interacting with our Instagram account, it's me. Because I have a feeling that there are a couple of people who don't quite yet know that. And if you're interacting with us on YouTube via the comment section, it's most likely
that's probably me. Yes. Mm-hmm. Lots of definitely. I say definitely a lot on there. I apologize if I've replied to your comments and I say the word definitely. It just is the right word sometimes, you know, so I use it a lot.
If you send us an email, it's most likely the both of us. We'll sit together and we'll answer those. But that's just how we divvy those up. So again, thank you so much. And so in honor of hitting that milestone, we're kind of like passing on the bucket.
Paying it
forward of sorts, I suppose. There was kind of like a small trend going on with board game content creators where once they hit the 10K, they do like the top 10 content creators that they're following or 10 content creators that they're enjoying. And so we do plan on putting out that video, sharing with you all 10 content creators who we enjoy watching and the reasons why. Mm-hmm. And we're hoping to have that video out on Saturday. So look out for that. This month, we are also planning on doing our first Q&A. And so this kind of came about because we were doing one of our live streams and somebody in the chat was saying, can we ask you questions like while we're here? Mm-hmm. And so we never realized that maybe there were questions out there that maybe people wanted to ask.
Yeah, because a lot of times the best time to ask the questions are obviously during those live streams, but it's just me and Monique. So it's hard to be fully present in the chat in the live stream. So we figured this is probably one of the better ways to do it.
Yeah. So we're going to make it a separate video. If you have any questions that you would like us to answer, you can leave them in the comment section below. You can message me on Instagram. You can email us, whatever you would like to do. And so we will kind of pull all those questions together and put together a video by the end of the month. If we only get like 3 questions, though, we might just answer you in the moment and say, forget that video. But
we'll go for it. I don't know. Huh? Throw it out there, like we said.
Yeah.
We'll throw it out there.
You'll see it towards the end of the month.
Yeah. You also might have noticed that on Fridays, we're not so much doing the Filler Fridays anymore. We're taking a little bit of a hiatus from Filler Fridays specifically. It's not because we don't like doing them. It's just we have other games that we wanted to get out. And so it's just taking a little bit of time to get those fillers out. But we will be returning to that probably sometime in the new year. Mm-hmm.
It's mainly because, it's the holidays and the holidays always creep up on you. You never think that, I'm going to be too busy during that time. But then suddenly, once mid-November hits, you're busy for all these reasons. So we've been a little bit more pressed for time in doing content. But like Naveen said, we're going to return to the fillers next month probably. And so what we are doing this month is we are actually planning on doing a 12 days of board games kind of thing, where we feature one board game a day that's more in like the medium to light, more closer to the light.
Yeah, lighter
category
games,
of board games. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And these are just games that we think are interesting, that might be meant for like a specific type of gamer. And what we plan on doing in them is showcasing the game and doing like a 5-minute teach. These are very short videos, one board game a day for 12 days leading up to Christmas, because that is a holiday that we celebrate. And then we plan on releasing a fun, maybe holiday themed playthrough on Christmas Day.
Yeah, these are games that we think are good games, but we just cannot ideally get them all filmed as a full-length playthrough, but we still want to highlight and showcase these games.
Right, yeah. So we were kind of like thinking, do people typically do like 12 Days of Christmas in the beginning of the month or in the latter half of the month?
I always thought it's the days leading up to Christmas, right?
Well, I don't actually know, but we're now realizing that it might have been in the beginning of the month.
Is December 1st the first day of the 12 Days of Christmas?
I guess so.
But then what happens the 13th through the 24th?
I have no idea. But everybody else did their 12 Days of Christmas in the beginning. So we are going to do ours starting on the 13th.
On 13th, yes.
So that starts on Sunday, which is going to be hopefully the day after the content creators video. So, and of course, our Alexander Pfister series, we do have an update. We understand that this is quite a long series, but we've kind of been trying to stretch it out because we were anticipating the arrival of Cloud Age.
Yeah.
And because the publisher kind of didn't know when they were getting their stocks in, it was kind of like so do we wait for it or do we not? And so the final update is that Cloud Age is coming in January, the very beginning of January.
Yes.
So we're going to be able to completely finish it out once that comes in. We still do have 2 more games. We have a Blackout Hong Kong, which is going to come out next week, as well as Maracaibo.
Right.
And I know somebody did request the hard mode of Maracaibo, which we had no idea what that even meant.
I didn't know that existed.
Until we did a little bit more digging, and now we know what it means. So we're not going to be able to do the hard mode this time. We're going to do just the base game.
Right.
The hard mode requires you to go through the entire campaign.
Right.
And the entire campaign is like a deck of cards that's this thick. And so it's like 12 or 13 games worth of Maracaibo.
Right.
So we do plan on playing out the entire Maracaibo campaign because Naveen kind of fell in love with the idea of doing that.
And spoiler, I like the game.
Yeah, he likes the game. And so once we finish the campaign, that is technically supposed to like unlock the hard mode.
Right.
We will try to do another playthrough with the hard mode.
Yeah, we could have technically thumbed through the deck and figured out what the hard mode was, but because I really do enjoy the game, I want to experience it the way the campaign is meant to be, and I didn't want to spoil it for myself. So
we actually started doing it. We were like, hey, let's do this. Let's do the hard mode. Let's just go through and just like read through all the cards. And we read through like the first 2, and then Naveen was like, I kind of want to do this. Like, it sounds really fun.
I don't know anything. We still have not done anything beyond the base and reading the first couple cards for the first part of the campaign. But it already sounded interesting enough. Obviously, you're playing Maracaibo multiple times. It's just some little things change. So I want to experience that. So I didn't want to spoil anything for myself.
Yes.
Or for you.
Yeah, that's true. So we hope you've enjoyed the Alexander Pfister series so far. It is almost done. And then we'll be taking a little bit of a break from doing a series and while we think about the next one.
Yep.
That is another thing that the Patreon is probably going to be for voting on what series we embark on next.
Exactly.
And lastly, before we move on to our favorite gaming experiences of the month, we did want to mention something unfortunate that happened within the board game community recently. And this is some sad news. One of the heads of the North Star Games publishing company, his name is Satish. He passed away recently from cancer, and he was a business partner of the founder of North Star Games. And if you're not familiar with that company, they did Evolution, they did Wits and Wagers.
Oceans.
Oceans, was one of their most recent releases. And so he left behind a newborn son who he'd never even met before. And so the founder of North Star Games, Dominic, put together a memorial fund for him, just for the baby. And so we are going to include a link down below with all that information in case you would like to show some support and contribute as well. And so to end our vlog, as per usual, we are going to discuss our favorite gaming experiences of the month, starting with Naveen.
Okay, my favorite or my runner-up? Because we normally give the favorite, and then it's like, and I had this runner-up.
Yes.
So it is. Yes.
Let's do the runner-up first, because I think we already know that our favorite gaming experience is shared. It's the exact same one. So we might as well talk about that last. So what's your runner-up?
My runner-up is a space-themed game. It's a dice-rolling game from AEG. Space Base.
Yes.
We played Space Base again, and I love that game. That game is great. I love the fact that you are invested in other people's turns. And it's basically a dice-chucking game where you are rolling combinations of die so that you can score points.
I think this is the second time this year that Naveen had chosen Space Base as either his favorite gaming experience.
I don't remember if I said it in the previous one, but if I didn't, it's because I forgot about playing it that one time. I love that game. It's a great game.
Yeah, it's really fun. You know, the first time I played it, I didn't have as much of a good time. So maybe it's like dependent on who you're playing with, but this past time was really fun.
Yeah, we had a good time.
I agree. And so my runner-up experience of the month is a Christmas game, actually. And this is a game that we've been wanting to try for years because just because I like Christmas-themed things, and I've always been kind of curious about if there was a good, holiday-themed game out there. And so it is a game that's published by Calliope Games called 12 Days. It is a card game. It's kind of ridiculous, but it's a card game with it's based off of the song, the first day of Christmas. So it's kind of hard to describe, but it's essentially a bidding game.
It's a drafting game and a bidding game.
Yes, it's a drafting and bidding game, and you're trying to just score the most points by winning the cards in the center of the table, using the cards that you have in your hand, and they're all based off of the theme of that song. So it's really hard to describe.
Yeah.
It's fun. I really enjoyed that one.
12 days, huh?
Uh-huh.
Yep, 12 days.
And so our favorite gaming experience of the month, would you like to
This is a shared one.
discuss it?
This is going to fall in the same theme as Space Base. It has to do with space. It is the Search for Planet X.
Yes.
Monique and I finally got to play this game. It was something that I think we saw at a local convention. Monique, you got to demo it?
Yeah,
Once?
it was a game that I had played. This is a game, by the way, that's published by Renegade Games, and it was a game that I was able to play as a prototype before it was released with Yuriko from What's Eric Playing, and at the time I couldn't grasp the deduction. So if you're not familiar with the game, it's like deduction.
It's a pure deduction
It's
game.
a deduction game.
Yeah.
There's a little bit more game to it, so it's not, I guess, not entirely pure, but that is the main point of it. And it is more complicated than other deduction games we played so far.
There's a lot of variables in this one. Yeah.
It's hard. I think it's pretty hard. And so the first time I played it, I was just like lost. I didn't quite grasp the different parts of the game. So we finally played like the production version, and we learned what all the different rules were in the deduction part of it. And so we both enjoyed it so much that it might be our favorite deduction game of all time. And that's saying a lot because I really like deduction in games. So that is the Search for Planet X. And as per usual, we would love to hear what your favorite gaming experience of the month was. Please let us know in the comments section down below. Don't forget to let us know all the other things that we've asked, I guess, throughout the video. We're
Just
very
make
needy.
bullet points if we ask more things.
What was it?
than
I
that.
think it's like any questions that you have for our Q&A, any suggestions for rewards that you'd like to see for the Patreon. I don't even know if I asked that, but feel free to let us know.
Let us know.
And your favorite gaming experiences of the month, and I might have forgotten something, but we will see you all next year. Hope you have a wonderful holiday season. Please be safe and stay healthy, and we will see you in the new year. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.